little time left, so I must ask for very short speeches, please. Rushanara Ali.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Can I start off by declaring an interest as the co-chair of the All-Party Group on Philanthropy and Social Impact, and also chair of a national charity that has benefited from dormant assets funding, as well as the many organisations that the All-Party Group represents. Since the last Labour government introduced the Dormant Bank and Building Society Accounts Act in 2008, with cross-party support, over £800 million has been distributed to good causes. And the four organisations, as I said, that have been involved with the distribution: Big Society Capital, Fair for All Finance, Youth Futures Foundation and Access, the Foundation for Social Investment, have got a proven track record and an evidence-based approach to investment and support to charities and social enterprises across the country. So it's vital that this bill builds on the work and the evidence that's underpinning the allocation of funding. It's also vital, Madam Deputy Speaker, that we look at some of the things that these organisations have done and achieved. So Big Society Capital alone has used the £425 million of dormant assets to bring in another additional £2.5 billion of social investment from other investors. So it's vital that we ensure that is built on and that there isn't a power grab by ministers to allocate funding to their favoured causes. And I hope that the Minister will give us an assurance that the consultation is going to be meaningful and not going to be an attempt to take proper accountability, scrutiny and good governance that's underpinning the current allocation of funding through these agencies into good causes in our constituencies up and down the country. The Youth Futures Foundation alone, which has got a fund of £90 million, has recently started since 2019 to allocate funding to young people. And I've seen how the charity I chair has benefited. 70% of the beneficiaries are from working class and ethnic minority backgrounds in different parts of the country. And there are many other organisations up and down the country that are doing really great work with young people. They've distributed nearly £19 million to 143 civil society organisations, engaging about 18,000 people during the pandemic. And there's much more to do for those who face disadvantage and discrimination. And as I've said, the work of Big Society Capital has meant that organisations have been able to build a social economy within their areas, which has really benefited in a wide range of fields, whether in tackling homelessness, building new businesses, social businesses, and other initiatives across the country. So I hope, Madam Deputy Speaker, as we look at how we build on the achievements under the last Labour government and the cross-party consensus that has underpinned the work that's happened by these multiple organisations, that the government will ensure that lessons are learnt from the scandals of the Towns Fund, where there have been big concerns about funding being allocated when ministers have more control over funding and there is less accountability, that funding isn't dictated by political favouritism. And likewise, when we hear scandals of the PPE contracts, where there has been separate pathways for those who have close connections with the ruling party, that we don't fall into those traps, because this is an area where there's a great deal of cross-party consensus in supporting organisations in our constituencies up and down the country. And we've seen how vital it is during the pandemic to support charities. And I've been very fortunate in being able to work with colleagues in the Conservative Party, as well as in the Liberal Democrats and SNP and others, through my parliamentary party group. So I hope that ministers will take heed of the representation that's been made, that the duty to consult isn't something that's just paying lip service, and that actually there's proper protection, good governance in the way that the dormant assets funds are allocated in the future. And ministers don't just dish out money to their pet causes dictated by political considerations, rather than what's in the interests of community organisations, charities across our constituencies, across our country.
Thank you.